So for example, we saw this in Julian's video. You typically would not want to be doing very heavy shoulder press before you do a heavy bench press. Why? Because on the bench press, you are going to need your shoulders to be more fresh.
Yeah, so that's what you're looking for. Nothing too heavy, but just heavy enough to give you that pump.
Recommend chalking every set.
Usually go a little bit higher than that.
I warm up with pec deck.
Yes, Larry brought up something that I love. He said it's very interesting that Sam is actually starting to warm up on a chest day with triceps. And you may notice Sam's face, despite the fact that he is the monster that he is. He's not perfect by any means. And he also may not know as much as what obviously some other people might know. It appears to me that their seat needs to be way higher. Larry is actually training his shoulders rather than his chest.
Oh, jeez. I do not feel good. Shoulders are feeling rusty.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
Perfect.
doesn't feel right, but
Yeah, okay, so with this one, it is gonna be a little bit of discomfort on your elbow, just a tad bit, but when you get your second set, and I'll go away completely. Okay, so because of the elbow thing, I was trying to find what I could use to still work, have a tricep-centered workout without so much joint pain.
What a joker.
How is your leg training?
It looks like Sam Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to try to keep the energy high today, even though I just got back from training. I'm exhausted, but hey, listen, I'm happy to be here with you guys. Hope you guys are happy too. Looking forward to a great video. Today, what we're going to be looking at is the video that Sam Sulek did with Larry Wheels. Two of the largest gentle giants in the industry. Both of them always bring a smile to my face for multiple reasons. They are just like Sam being a gigantic monster and just saying cute little things, and Larry screaming perfect every 5 seconds, even if the rep wasn't perfect. Gotta love it. But seriously, two of the nicest guys, seemingly, because I don't know them obviously personally, but looking forward to this video. Let's get into it.
we are at One Gen Gym in Claremont, California.
Yeah.
Fresh off the Anaheim Vid Expo.
Yeah, that was way crazier than I would have expected. I mean, it's, you know, because I'm kind of spoiled. I'm used to the Arnold every year. Plus, it's in my backyard.
Right.
But this was nuts. And it would have been a good vlog, just the path of even getting here. Flight screwed, luggage lost, just a whole fuss.
You see what I'm saying? You got this monster of a guy, Sam, and he's like, just a whole fuss. Just a whole fuss.
Just a whole fuss.
I can't. I love him. I love him. That's why the world loves him, because he is who he is.
Come on. Fuss. And we had to go to Walmart to get clothes this morning. But you know what? It all worked out. And now we're ready to get some chest going.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, pre-chest, my ritual is just hanging out right here for like, you know, 15 or 20 minutes. Because I kind of go through a loop. You know, I don't know what your pre-chest ritual is or kind of prep, but yeah, even lighter than this, I'll kind of just end up going back and forth between like push downs, a little bit of rotator cuff stuff, kind of, you know, cable presses like with a D handle. So everything's just warm.
So Sam mentions his chest ritual in the beginning, like his little routine that he does in the beginning. It's his warm-up. That's what it is. It's his warm-up. So he mentions he likes to do some press downs and things of that nature. When you're training chest, you're training depending on the equipment you're using. If you're doing bench, for example, you're going to be training your delts. You're going to be training your chest. You're going to be training your triceps and so forth. So that makes sense why Sam might want to do a certain type of warm-up. Now, personally, I'm not lifting as heavy as these guys are lifting, obviously. I mean, that should be an obvious point. So, and also everybody's different. So Sam, he likes to focus, it sounds like, on warming up his triceps, maybe a little less than his actual chest muscle, which is totally cool. Everybody is different. When I do bicep curls, for example, my elbows lock up if I don't warm up enough. And if I start my working set and I feel that my elbow's starting to lock up, I know I didn't give it the amount of time necessary in order with the warm up in order to continue training into my working set. Sam spends about 15 to 20 minutes warming up. Why is that? Well, first of all, he's his own person. Everybody is different. And second of all, he is probably going to be lifting a ton of weight. The younger you are, typically the less you have to warm up, or at least younger people typically don't realize that they have to warm up. And if they do, they're very likely to get more out of the workout. When you're a little older or when you're lifting heavier, then the warm-up becomes even more important, not only for protection of your body so you don't hurt yourself, but also because warming up properly, especially a good 15 or 20-minute warm-up, is going to allow you to be able to lift more weight during your working set. Another thing to bring out is the fact that the abuse that these guys' bodies take, because training, the way they train, it's not easy on your body. They might make it look easy sometimes because of who they are and their history with training, but it's not easy on your body. As you move forward and the years go by and you get a little older and you're lifting more weight, your body starts to break down. That's why many times you'll see older bodybuilders doing more volume and less heavy weight.
Jay was, when you worked out with Jay, he was done. He's like, you just jumped straight to a super heavy set. And I'm like, well, I did warm up beforehand. But sometimes I do like starting a little more squeezing now, where it's like, even just doing cross-body presses here as a start, like light squeezing, that's fine too.
Larry over here, standing there like he's on a field coaching a bunch of people for softball or something like that.
But you're usually getting ready, or maybe not, define usually, but for more like a 500, like a 600-pound bench. So how does your warm-up differ? Because for me, doing a couple light tricep extensions is sufficient.
Right, exactly. Sam just mentioned his warm-up, Sam's warm-up, is going to be different than Larry's warm-up because Larry is used to lifting like 500 or 600 pounds on a bench, where Sam feels more comfortable at around 300 or so pounds. So that warm-up will be very different. Warm-up based on your goal and based on your body. But I recommend, even if you're young, warm up, guys. It's going to help you astronomically, not only with your health, the health of your joints, but also you're going to be able to train with more weight while you're actually doing your working sets.
So how does your warm-up differ? Because for me, doing a couple light tricep extensions is sufficient.
I find that interesting because I've never warmed up for a chest workout starting with triceps. Usually, especially in the past 2 years as I'm focusing on my bodybuilding journey now more than anything, I warm up with pec deck.
Yes, Larry brought up something that I love. He said it's very interesting that Sam is actually starting to warm up on a chest day with triceps, which, again, I said this is because Sam is his own individual person. Larry warms up with pec deck. I would have to agree that that is the ideal, or one of the more ideal movements to warm up if you're going to be doing chest that day. most of the time I recommend people to just do the movement that they plan on doing for their working set. Just do the movement lighter. The same movement, you can just do it lighter because you're already working the muscles that you need to engage. So Sam has his own thoughts here, rightfully so, right? Larry has his own thoughts here, and I do believe, in my personal opinion, that Larry's thoughts are more advantageous because you will be warming up not just your triceps, the muscle group that you intend on training will be warmed up as well. So I do believe that that's an excellent thought. He also said that he warms up depending on how his warm-up will change based on how cold the room is, what was he doing in advance of warming up.
I warm up with pec deck. So I'll spend maybe 5 minutes there. I'll do 2 sets of 20 to 50 reps, depending on how cold the gym is, what I was doing beforehand, what time of day I'm working out. Depending on what I've been doing prior to me getting to the gym, I'll do 20 reps. If I feel like I'm really fresh and recovered from my last workout, I'll do even less, you know? So it just depends on how I'm feeling that day up, like how long my warm-ups are before I get into the heavy stuff. But always start with pec deck now.
For example, when I train legs, I warm up a lot less. Why? Because typically I'm training maybe 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been on my legs all day. I don't sit down, I'm always moving. And so the blood is already in the muscles. They've been worked throughout the day, walking and things of that nature, carrying things or whatever the case is. And so that's gonna mean I have to do a lot less warming up. You might be different than me, of course. Love what Larry brought out here. And you may notice Sam's face. He looks very interested. Now, I don't know what he's about to say, but what he might be thinking is, that actually makes a lot of sense. Why do I say that Sam might be saying this? Listen, you guys see me. I'm a little person. I'm a little YouTuber. I am nothing compared to Sam Sulek or Larry Wheels. So nothing in this video that I say is trying to bash them. I cannot bash them. I do have my thoughts though, and everybody's entitled to an opinion. Let us know what you think in the comments, of course. But Sam might actually be a little bit enlightened here. Why do I say that? Sam, when you look at his body, he looks like a very, very extreme seasoned lifter. He is to a very large degree, but in comparison to Larry Wheels, he isn't. When Sam trained with Urs in a very nice, polite, loving, kind, patient way, basically tore apart Sam's workout.
That's good. Very different approach from me. I kind of don't like standing out here like this. Try it like this because the most important part, also what I saw with you, is doing a more crab style.
Yeah. Gotta open up more.
Go with the thing about the elbows going together with the elbows. Yeah. The weight's gonna be so hard, but you're gonna contract your chest. You see it like this. Do it like, feel the chest like this. When you do it like this.
Yeah.
And
that's where
you see the whole twist is activating.
I always try to keep my hands up.
Yeah.
And even if I'm doing like a cable or press.
Because when you pull
them like this, I'll show.
Yeah. Because when you pull them up, then you lower your shoulder.
Exactly.
It's also because sometimes when you hit the side chest, you hit it like this.
A little high up.
And you need to go there, and that always comes from like
I'll be a little looser.
Because pressing down is what gets you really into the opening up the chest, and that's the same. We learn it when we train. We do it like this all the time.
Yeah, the pose like
because
that.
when it gets hard and you start to move up your shoulders, you press like this all the time, or you do like this. You need to press it down and stay locked up. And then you also with the chest.
Same thing.
It's looked way better.
I'll try this. I'll make this an Urs style set.
Yeah. A little bit more to the front. Yeah.
All right, so you're thinking this low.
Yeah. Open it up. Chest, head up. Yes.
So you're thinking like this.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Go a little bit more to the front. Yes. And go up here. Yes. Think about putting the elbows together. Yes. Open your arms up a bit more. And stretch it. Yes. And stay up. Stay high with the chest. Yes, good. Now it's working. Yes. Don't fall into here. Put the head up. Yes. Then you automatically go into the chest. Good. Come on. Head up. Yes. Yes, and partials. Good. Good. And now press it. Yes. Press. Press. Come on. Yes. Good. Last one. Nice.
Tore it apart. Whatever they were training that day, he was giving him pointer after pointer after pointer. On chest, why are you leaning forward? You're using your shoulders rather than your chest. All of this stuff that even some of the most new lifters many times understand. So Sam, despite the fact that he is the monster that he is, he's not perfect by any means. And he also may not know as much as what obviously some other people might know. So I really love how Larry's giving his thoughts here. It might benefit Sam in the future, and it might cause Sam to actually train differently in a more well-rounded, advantageous approach.
Yeah, I see it. I feel like Sam, I don't know, it might depend. Because maybe it's just a mental thing, because I know that my triceps are going to contribute a little to a press.
Hey guys, in the middle of editing, just wanted to point out the fact that Sam mentioned that he knows that the triceps will contribute a little to a press. I just want to clarify, your triceps will actually be contributing a lot to a press. It's not a little, it is a lot to a press. In fact, many people do presses just for triceps. And again, you have different muscle groups contributing to a bench press. Your chest, your deltoids, your front delts, and your triceps. Now, as the bar moves, whether it's on a pec deck or whether it's on a bench press, doesn't matter, the weight is being distributed across these muscles. In the beginning of the movement, your anterior delts, your front delts, that's the portion that's really doing a lot of pushing, and your chest. As you go forward, the weight changes from your chest to the triceps at the top portion of the movement, at the lockout. If you're failing at the bottom of the movement, where let's say you have the bar near your chest, that's going to be due to weak chest muscles and also weak deltoids, okay? If it fails at the top, it's due to weak triceps. So if the lifter is getting close to putting the bar back on the rack but just can't do it anymore, that's going to come down to your triceps failing. But if the lifter wants to do one more rep in order to get the bar back to the top but can't, that's because the chest and the deltoids failed. So the whole point that I'm trying to get across is your triceps are an extremely large part of that pressing movement, whether it's on a pec deck, whether it's on a bench press, whatever the case is. If it's a pressing movement, your triceps are a huge, huge factor in whether or not you can go ahead and continue that movement. Also, guys, let me know in the comments, is the lighting better today? I got a comment saying the lighting needs to be better, so I went ahead and got a little lighting system. Let me know what you think. Thank you.
So it's like I'm doing a checklist. My triceps are off, I'm not going to go full throttle. If my shoulder's off, I'm not going to, if anything's off. But if everything's good, that's my cue to say, all right, let's freaking move some weight around.
Okay, Sam just, I think, enlightened the audience. Again, no disrespect to Sam at all. I don't have the right to disrespect him, even if I wanted to, in my opinion. I think he's great. But he said, in his opinion, it's like a checklist. He knows he's going to be using his triceps. Yes, you're going to be using your triceps. But you're also going to be using your chest and your shoulders. Warming up your triceps isn't warming up your chest and your shoulders. Using a pec deck, however, will. So, even if you don't plan on doing the pec deck for your working set, great to train with if you're doing chest, depending on the chest movement you plan on doing. If you're doing flies, well, that's very different, right? Because now all of a sudden you're trying to isolate the chest, and so you're using mostly just chest, or at least that's the idea if you're doing your reps correctly. So I think Sam was actually enlightened here. I really genuinely do. The fact that he is so large, the fact that he is an IFBB pro, just like Larry, and he's still able to gain some knowledge here that is actually rudimentary knowledge is astounding.
You know, I didn't start off as a football lift kind of guy.
Yo, Larry looks like the epitome of a coach. Sam says that he likes training when it's dead, meaning like nobody's around and he's alone.
Like, you know, I didn't start off as a football lift kind of guy where, you know, you got 20 dudes screaming at you to hit a set. And I see comments like that where it's like, dude, it's just not the same when it's just me. But maybe it's like just a chip on my shoulder thing. But it's like I like the idea that I can generate the hype like on my own. Or with just whatever music I'm listening to.
I have to agree. I love training when I'm by myself. Why? Well, many times when I'm training, whoever I'm training with, they might not know what they're doing. Or they want to talk all day. And I need to focus on what I'm doing in order to get the work done. When I personally go to the gym, everybody's experiences, thoughts, and reasons for things are different. But when I personally go to the gym, I'm going to work. When you're working, you need to be focused. Everybody works differently though. Some people work better around others. For me, I love when things are dead. I will listen to music 100%. I need the music. Or maybe I'll watch a podcast or something like that. But I don't necessarily like training others. I don't like necessarily being around people. That's why a lot of time I just train at home, unless I feel the need to go to a gym for some reason. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You guys train at home? Do you guys like being around others? What are your thoughts?
That's a special power to me because much like your people commenting on your videos, yeah. I agree with them. It's difficult in this environment, no music, no people, no energy, to dig deep and really get into the groove, as I've been conditioned to nearly all of my most challenging workouts. My biggest feats of strength have been done not only in a busy gym with music blasting in my ears, because I'm usually having headphones on during those sets, but also on camera. So a lot of stimulation, right? Almost overstimulated before I even get to the set. So to go to a quiet gym with nobody there is something I've really never experienced, because when I started working out in public gyms at 16, 17, that's what I thrived off of, right? Going at the busiest hour.
Yeah, I do feel that on legs. If I've got legs and I know I'm gonna squat, having people watch helps. And I don't know if it's because I don't wanna slack off because I know there's people there, or if it's I wanna show off. Because I never finish a squat and think, man, I'm glad all these people saw that I did that. But subconsciously, I'm sure that's an angle, because with bench, with a row, I never get that feeling.
I actually hate when people watch me while I'm training. Obviously it happens because when you're pushing out a really hard set, you got the ugly face on, you might be making a little bit of noise. I mean, I try not to, but I hate when people stare at me. I hate when people look at me, and people look at me all the time. People stare at me all the time. I'll be walking down the street and people stare at me. So I'm either really ugly, or as my wife says, you're jacked and you have tattoos, so you call a lot of attention. That's probably the case. I would prefer that to be the case over me being ugly, but I guess I'll never know.
I used to be anxious about squats 3 days before, when 5 plates was new territory. I'd never done it before. Even no music, no anything. I'm sitting down, 5 plates is on the rack. Just knowing it's there and I'm getting out and warm and ready for it. I feel my heart had to be up to 150 from nothing. Just the fact that I know it's about to happen. But now it's probably just because I've done it so much, and I'm more used to it. I don't get that same like antsiness.
Both of these dudes are so calm right now. It's unbelievable. You can see Larry totally turn down his volume to train with Sam, which I like because Larry's trying to do Sam a service. He knows Sam is more chill. He's probably seen Sam's videos where Sam is super chill. So he's trying to be chill too. It's just so weird to see both these guys so chill.
He was recreating the J lift that I had.
The J lift?
Yeah. This is what we started with.
Okay. I noticed when Larry was on this chest press machine, I heard a pop.
Perfect.
That could have been his elbow, for example, cracking, or perhaps his shoulder cracking. I can't guarantee it, but it did not sound like the microphone making noise, because we hear later the microphone making noise. It did not sound like that. That would indicate to me that they had a suboptimal warm-up set. And I mean, this guy already has 2 plates on each side. So that's a lot of weight for your first set if you haven't warmed up first. Warmed up properly. They did warm up on triceps, but they didn't warm up, as far as I could see, shoulder or anything of that nature. So I do believe that they had probably a suboptimal warm-up set. Obviously, they're going to get through it. And obviously, they wrote in the title, no pec tears, so everything's cool. But warming up properly would totally contribute to a much better workout for these guys. And I'm sure they both know that. But Larry was spot on. Pec deck would have been so much better to warm up before this particular exercise. You would have warmed up every muscle group involved rather than just your triceps. Something that I'm noticing, and again, guys, kill me in the comments. Go ahead, kill me in the comments. I'm not trying to say I know more than these guys. I am down here and they're like, I can't even show you how high they are, okay? I'm trying to say this with humility, but I need to say that based on the camera angle of where it's at, it's hard to tell with angles. You can move a camera, and all of a sudden things change, right? A lot. But it appears to me that their seat needs to be way higher by like at least, I would say, like pop it up by 2. Why? The handle is higher. It's like up here. From what I can see, the handle is up here. When you're doing chest on one of these machines, you typically want, of course, it depends on what your goals are, right? They said they were training chest. So I'm basing it off of this. They typically, it should be like mid-chest. So right now, it appears to my eye, based on what I'm seeing, that Larry is actually training his shoulders more rather than his chest. And that also means he has chest weight, because he's thinking chest. They have 2 plates aside. Chest weight on their shoulders primarily. That could be very dangerous, especially if you haven't warmed up, because they didn't warm up delts, as far as I saw, and you can end up pulling something, ripping something, tearing something, whatever the case is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Sam is shorter than Larry, and that means the handle is actually higher on Sam's body than it was on Larry. And when Sam sits down, based on what I'm seeing, I really genuinely do believe that that seat needs to be higher.
All right. Yeah. Perfect. Yes. Perfect.
Yeah, it's within reason.
Listen, man, between all the heavy breathing that these two guys do and Larry's Larry's compliments throughout the video, it makes for a very strange watching experience. Let me tell you that right now.
Oh, jeez. I do not feel good. Shoulders are feeling rusty.
We're getting there.
Larry says shoulders are feeling rusty. 2 reasons, in my humble opinion. They didn't warm up enough. They didn't warm up shoulders. And they have the seat too low. They're getting all this chest weight on their shoulders. And because they're massive, they can do it. But they're supposed to be training chest. So I don't even know if they realize what's going on because the camera's out, they're having conversation. They don't want to change the height of the seat because each one is like, you don't want to keep changing up the machine and stuff like that. But I do believe, genuinely, guys, warming up would have did way much better, warming up properly, doing a full chest warm up where you're warming up all of the muscles that count during this movement and raising that seat 1 or 2 notches. They would be in a perfect place to push. I do not believe that his shoulders would be feeling rusty whatsoever.
A little bit. How is your leg training?
It looks like Sam just tried to raise the seat, or he did raise the seat. So I do believe that he realizes that the seat is too low and the weight is too much on the shoulder. He just tried to raise it. It looked as if he didn't raise it. Maybe it was stuck. Maybe he just changed his mind. But there was no reason to fiddle with the seat. And he did mess with the seat. I wish he raised it higher than what he did. Or if he didn't raise it, I wish he continued raising it. Because that's going to put you in a safer place to push that heavy, heavy weight that your shoulders alone and your triceps, in my opinion, shouldn't be pushing. You need your chest in there. Are they getting chest? Yes. They're getting more upper chest activation, and they're getting it probably mostly at the end of the movement during that squeeze portion when the handles come in. But they could be doing way, way better in terms of chest activation and safety if that seat was higher. When you see a machine at the gym, guys, don't feel like just, I just need to jump on that machine and start working because people are watching me or whatever the case is. No, look at that machine. Think about the movement that you must execute and get the seat height proper, get the range of motion proper. Those machines are made for different types of people. Therefore, there's no one specific way that that seat needs to be. I was at the gym the other day and I saw somebody and he had the handles up here. He's pushing like this. And I told him, I went over to him, I'm like, bro, no disrespect, but I'm afraid you might end up like screwing up your shoulder bad. And this dude said to me, thank you so much for telling me. I just got out of shoulder surgery a few weeks ago, and I was trying to strengthen my chest and my shoulders. So all he had to do was raise that seat up, get the handles right here on the middle, retract your back so you're pushing with your chest primarily, protecting your shoulders, and that's it.
Or no, like 3 in a 25 and be like, whoa, this is a big one.
So you've gotten significantly stronger since then.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Good.
It was, I stopped going to that gym that had this machine for a little while because this guy kept coming in and like he'd start fights with like younger dudes, and it just became a whole thing. I'm like, I don't need any of that. I don't need this. I'm gonna work out at my gym, or I'm gonna work out at like the Y, where I know nobody's gonna cause a fuss.
Interesting. I can't comprehend somebody just picking a fight with someone in the gym for no good reason other than
ruckus.
reason other than
ruckus.
Sam is going to work out at the Y where nobody's going to cause a fuss. And Larry can't picture anybody starting a fight in a gym for no reason. Well, let me tell you right now, nobody in their right mind, or even if they're out of their mind, is going to ever cause a fuss with Sam. So I don't think he ever needed to leave the original gym. And Larry, certainly nobody is going to be messing with. That's why Larry can't even comprehend somebody starting a fight in a gym for no reason. Because no one would ever, in their right mind, try to fight Larry Wheels or even Sam Sulek. And then Sam says, just a ruckus.
reason other than
ruckus.
I love this guy, man. It's very hard to tell with these angles, but it seems like Larry on this fly machine could also use a lift in the seat, but the angle is off. So you guys got to understand. I get told in the comments all the time, why don't you train both sides of your bodies? Guys, it's because I'm sitting on an angle. I can't believe I actually have to say this. My body will look different depending on the angle of which I'm sitting. So if I'm sitting on an angle, one side of my body's going to look small, the other one's going to look larger, okay? Same thing where the camera is over here. I can't really tell where Larry is in conjunction to those handles. But it does appear, like his arms are going very high. So when you're doing a fly, you typically want to be in the middle of where your chest is at. Maybe he is, but it looks like he's more high. And again, that could just be because of the angle of the camera, but I'll never know. But I just wanted to mention this because maybe it would benefit some of you guys.
Come on.
oh,
Another light. Had a good weight.
definitely good weight.
Yeah. That's something I've always thought was like totally redundant. Guys will move machines and they're still doing something that's chest activated, and they'll still do 3 warm-up sets or like 3 different feelers. I'm like, dude, you just did a press that was way heavier than this. Your chest is ready. It doesn't know if you're doing a press or a fly. It knows, like, is it warm, is it loaded? It's like, if you know you can handle it, just don't lose momentum.
Right. Couldn't agree more.
Sam mentions over here that he doesn't understand why somebody might go from one machine where they're doing chest to another machine that's doing the same movement primarily, right? because, a chest press is going to be way different than a chest fly. He doesn't understand why they might go from one machine where they have heavy weight on it, then go to another machine where they have lighter, and then they warm up again. He's saying they warm up again. Well, my question would be, are you sure that they're warming up? Are you sure they're warming up? Did you ask them if they're warming up? Because depending on the machine you're doing, you're going to be stronger or you're going to be less strong. For example, many people are stronger on presses than flies. Why? Well, it's first of all, you're sitting completely different or you're laying completely different, depending on if you're using a machine or you're on a bench. But you're also using, on a press, a whole bunch of different muscle groups that you wouldn't typically use, not nearly as much, on a fly. So Sam, I don't know, Sam might not make the connection when he sees people that if they're doing the same overall muscle group, but they're using a different machine or they're doing it in a different style, they might have to lower the weight and they might actually be doing a working set. Another thing to consider, guys, is the fact that if you're lifting a very heavy weight, you may want to be like, wait, hold on a second. I'm really not feeling this. Let me go ahead and use a lighter weight in order to see if I can get some activation. Maybe I started off too heavy. Maybe I need to warm the muscle up more. Maybe I need to pre-exhaust a little bit. Something of that nature. So I don't know if Sam thought about that when he sees these people doing what they're doing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But it wouldn't surprise me if Sam didn't kind of put that together, just simply because of what we saw before, where he didn't put together, in my opinion, and I think probably Larry would agree, he didn't put together the fact that if you're warming up for chest, you should be warming up doing a full chest movement with all of the muscles that it's going to incorporate before you go onto heavy weight.
And another thing to note, guys, is that Sam mentioned your chest doesn't know the difference between a press and a fly, for example. Your chest might not notice that difference, but for sure, the secondary muscles will. So again, when you're doing a fly, you're focusing primarily on your chest muscle, and you must lower the weight on flies typically when compared to a press. And the reason why is because it's a completely different movement and you're not using all of the secondary muscles and the perhaps stability of a bench in order for you to force out more weight in comparison to a pressing movement. And on a press, you're also using your triceps, your deltoids, way more than what you would be using on a fly. So in that respect, someone might lower the weight for sure if they do a different machine or a different movement because other muscles are involved. So that's something else I don't believe Sam took into consideration.
I agree more.
Yeah, thank you.
Gotcha. Yeah. Good. Nice. Yeah. Good. Yep. Perfect. Yep. Good. Yes. Got more. Yes. Beautiful. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mechanical failure right there.
Now, with Sam doing this movement, it does appear like his arms are more mid-chest than Larry's were. It could be that Larry was just extending the machine arms very high because he wanted to get a high squeeze. That could be the case, even though it does seem like he lifted it high prematurely, just a bit. But hey, I mean, Larry knows what he's doing. Sam knows what he's doing. These are just all speculations, guys. And I'm trying to use these as talking points to get you guys thinking about different machines, different weights, and things of that nature.
Yes, that felt way better than the feeler we did.
Right.
Yeah, like half an hour ago, we walked through the whole gym, felt every chest piece. And now that I'm really warm, this feels twice as good as that feeler did.
Right.
And what do you think? One set good and grab something else?
We can. Yeah,
cool with
it's
that.
your first day here, so we may as well try and get the most out of this experience as we can.
Yeah, of course.
Sam mentions that now that they're warm, this machine feels so much better than what they did earlier. That makes a lot of sense because earlier when they started, guys, they were not warm. They weren't warm enough. Maybe they wanted to just get it going quickly because of the camera or whatever the case is. Don't underestimate warm-ups.
Very good.
Okay.
Notice how the arms on this machine, on this chest press, are more towards the center of Larry's chest. That is going to allow Larry to be able to use a majority of the chest muscle and also, of course, every other muscle that you need in order to, execute this movement, your shoulders, your triceps, whatever. But the starting position looks very good. So they're going to get a lot more out of this in terms of chest. And Sam just mentioned before that it wasn't really feeling good. Earlier on the other movements, he said it was because he doesn't feel like he was warm enough. It not only was that the thing, but I believe it was also because he wasn't really hitting as much chest as he could have been if he were to have changed the position of the seating or whatever the case is. Notice how Sam has been helping and Larry has been helping complete reps. Many people will do this in the gym, at least from what I've seen. They will do this prematurely. For some reason, they see somebody there, they're with their friend, they're pushing out reps, and they start helping them towards the end, even if the guy is still fresh, the guy or the girl is still fresh, because they see things like this. The reason why this is happening is because when you fail on a movement, it will be you're failing on the concentric portion of the movement. The eccentric, notice when Larry brings the arms back, that's the eccentric. When Larry brings the arms back, he does not need Sam's help. He's totally capable. Sam helps him finish the movement because you're weaker on the concentric portion. After you get tired out, you will fail on the concentric. You will never fail on the eccentric. So Sam is helping him to complete reps so that he can then, therefore, not only squeeze out a little bit more of that concentric, but then get that eccentric. Excellent way to reach mechanical failure. But you don't need to do this for every set on every rep. Only when you are exhausted, you want to push past failure to get like ultimate failure. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Squeeze it.
This fly machine is pretty cool. I just wanted to mention something that you guys might not know. If you end up using a fly machine at the gym, similar to this, you might have, let's say, 150 pounds on there, and you're flying, you're whatever the hell they're called. You're doing your reps like this, right? And then all of a sudden you think, you know what? Maybe I want to see if I can lift all that weight on one arm. It's going to depend on the machine, okay? But many machines are actually going to be, it's going to feel the same. So 150 pounds on both or 150 pounds on one. How does that make sense? It's 150 pounds. but only on one arm. Why would it feel the same? A lot of machines have pulley systems. Those pulley systems, the machine is making it easier to complete the rep, essentially. So if you do 150 pounds with both arms on one of these machines, and then you say, let me try it with one arm, it's very likely going to feel just as easy. Maybe I'm explaining that a little bit confusing. Sorry about that, but essentially that is what I'm trying to get at. You might feel like it's impossible, but try it. See if the machine is like that. Now, you might be thinking, well, if that's the case, why am I going to go ahead and do the one arm? The reason why you might want to do the one arm is because if you do the one arm, you will get a much better range of motion. When you have the machine like this, and you're hitting here, you can't really get a cross stretch on the chest. But if you bring your arm this way, if you have one arm and you bring it out, over, you are getting a way better range of motion. And because it feels the same, might as well just use one arm. Now, totally up to you. If your machine doesn't make it easier for you when you only use one arm, you can just lower the weight. Lower the weight and get a really good stretch. And when you do that crossover movement, the top of your chest, you're going to feel it. When you do the movement, put your arm here in the center of your chest. You're doing one-sided chest fly, right? Put your arm right here. You're going to feel all this pop. That is excellent to hit the inner and top part of your chest. So good. So I recommend, you could do both. You could do just one. I recommend trying the one-sided. You're going to get an incredible range of motion. You're very likely going to be able to lift the same weight that you're currently doing with both arms, and I think you're going to love it. Keep your hand here and feel all that pop.
Yeah, that's good. Squeeze it. Oh yeah, come on. Come on, bring it. 2 more.
Okay. Ooh, fatigue setting in now. Oh, jeez. It's a bit heavy.
It does say now I got to take a second because I just did some fly action doing the spot.
Notice at the end, Larry is bringing his shoulders forward and out. Now, while there's nothing inherently wrong with that, he's trying to complete the movement in full, but he's using the shoulders, bringing them out to try to do it. Now, that's a good thing because you could get a real heavy squeeze by forcing your shoulders out at the end. You get a really good squeeze, which maybe that's what he's trying to do. But many times when you see people doing this, they're trying to compensate because the weight is too heavy.
Ooh, fatigue setting in now. Oh, jeez. It's a bit heavy.
When you do one of these, you have your back like this, you hug the bench, and you try to bring your shoulders back so that you can bring your chest forward and get the squeeze on your chest primarily. If you see me going like this, I'm forcing the weight closed with my shoulders, which of course you do need your shoulders for chest movements, but with flies, that's a unique movement where you don't necessarily need your shoulders as much. You can try to get them out of the equation. Isolate chest only. So if you cheat, because that's what it is cheating when you bring your shoulders forward to try to close that movement, it's totally cool. But if you lower the weight, if you lower it, I know people don't like lowering weight, guys. I know. I'm with you on that. Makes me feel like a jerk. But if you lower the weight and get the proper weight and you complete the motion at the proper weight with the proper range of motion with the proper form, you're going to get more out of it, in my opinion. Notice at the end, he's using his shoulders more than his chest. You can see it because his chest goes in and his shoulders come out. So that's what I'm talking about. If he was doing this with a weight that was better for him, he would have his chest out like this. His shoulders would be more back and straight like this. And he would be squeezing with his chest, releasing, squeezing with his chest, releasing. Of course, this might come down to your goals. You may not care. whatever. Just thought I would bring this up.
Yep. Good. Oh, yeah. Good. Perfect. Good. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Keep that chest up. Yep, keep that chest up. Yep. 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 Finish it.
Notice Larry said keep that chest up. He's visually seeing that Sam is compensating with his shoulders, sinking in the chest, because you're trying to close the movement. You're trying to go like this because you want to complete the motion. I believe they're using almost if not the entire stack because of where the pin is.
Because the most important part, also what I saw with you, is doing a more crab style. 1, come on, 2, you will go for 10, 3, yes, stay up, good, chest proud, come on, 5, 6, come on, 7, yes, sit a bit front, yeah, chest up, yes. Stay in the stretch. Good. Yep. Come on. Keep going. Let's go. Come on. 5 more. 4, 3. Come on. 2. Last one. Good. We do it like this all the time.
Yeah, you pose like
because when it gets hard and you start to move up your shoulders, you press like this all the time, or you do like this. You need to press it down and stay locked up.
These guys, they move weight. That's what they do. But for you normal people, you don't have to do it. You'll get better results for you normal people if you use a lighter weight. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
I can do my feeler a little lighter. Let me just make sure.
I appreciate what Sam did. He lowered the weight. He knows his limits. He's not afraid to lower the weight, at least in this instance. Larry, probably, since they've hit so much of these movements today, Larry probably could have did well with going a little lighter. He doesn't want to, and that's totally fine. But I appreciate that Sam had the courage to lower the weight and not feel intimidated. Guys, know your limits. Now, they're going from machine to machine to machine to machine. You're going to have people watching this thinking, oh, maybe I should do that. Guys, it's not really, in my personal opinion, necessary or optimal. Why? Every machine, if it's a different variation, and even if it's just the same machine but a different manufacturer, it's going to have a different strength curve. You're going to be burning out certain muscles on certain machines in advance of other muscles and machines. So if you did want to use 5 or 6 machines for whatever reason, because you don't need to do it, you don't need to. You just find 1 machine or 2 machines and do your thing. But if you want to use 5 or 6, you need to kind of be aware of which machine you're using, what muscles it's burning out, and set those machines up for your success. So for example, we saw this in Julian's video. You typically would not want to be doing very heavy shoulder press before you do a heavy bench press. Why? Because on the bench press, you are going to need your shoulders to be more fresh.
Yeah, so that's what you're looking for. Nothing too heavy. but just heavy enough to give you that pump.
Recommend chalking every set.
Usually go a little bit higher than that.
Same principle with this stuff. You don't need all these machines. They're just making a video where they're like, hey, we're going to do every chest machine, which is cool. I love it. But you don't have to do it. And if you did do it, set those machines up properly so that you're not burning out certain muscles first, which is then going to prevent you from training hard later. Another thing they could be doing is more of a drop set style that I think they're probably not doing because they're different machines and, again, different variables here with different machines. But I feel like they could be progressively lowering the weight. So in theory, even though they're different machines, they're doing drop sets, right? So you can still push out like, you know, whatever, how many reps you want, 10 reps, 8 reps, whatever the case is. Larry seems to be putting the max weight on that he can and then doing it. Sam might be doing more of what I just mentioned, which I think is probably a better idea. But of course, there's no right or wrong here. This is just all opinion, what your goals are, how you train, and all that stuff. And the seat height on this machine looks to be very good as far as what I can tell. Right mid-chest, perfect angle to press.
Actually, I think 200 will be good for me.
Really? All right.
Because I feel like this is a little more squeeze emphasized.
Yeah.
So if it goes too heavy, I'm not gonna be able to squeeze.
Very true.
It's like you're trying to do rope push down with an extra plate on the side. You're not gonna get that hold.
Right.
Sam just brought something out that is fantastic. He said he wants to bring it to 200, a little less, because he wants to be able to get the squeeze at the end. Yes, that is what you're looking for. You want to be able to do the full range of motion. Of course, it depends on the movement you're doing. Certain movements, many people say you don't need full range of motion, but he wants the squeeze at the end. And I think when you're doing chest, if you could get a good squeeze at the end, I think that's excellent. I think that's very important. So he was not afraid to lower the weight. He knows his limits. He knows that every machine is different. Excellent advice from Sam. I mean, perfect.
Yes! Perfect.
Oh, that's good.
Definitely.
Yeah, honestly, well, I don't know. What do you think?
What do you think?
I would say after a good fly set that I'd be good with that.
Agreed.
What are you thinking? Usually I like finishing with cables. Kind of free motion, little. But what would you do?
I would probably do an incline dumbbell fly with probably 50s or 60s, just really lightweight, good squeeze.
I would probably never do an incline dumbbell fly.
Really? Why not?
Because it might just be a me thing, but I'm like, okay, at the top of a dumbbell fly, you're just holding the weight. It just makes more sense for me to want to do something that's pulling my hands apart with more force. Plus, as a finisher, I'm almost not even as concerned with like crazy failure. Like this is like crazy failure, heavy set.
Right.
I'm almost more concerned now, like flipping the switch from muscular damage to just trying to get as pumped as I can. So I might do 20-pound flies on the cables and do like 20 quick ones with some presses, just quick stretch, contract, and like soaking up a sponge, and then just kind of finishing there. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I won't do what you do, but I feel like I'd never do a dumbbell fly. But that's just a me thing that I like it.
Hey, I'm sold. Let's do the cable flies.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
I love how Sam gave his opinion. Larry took his opinion. I loved it. I loved seeing it. And I mean, everybody trains so different. And so that's what I really appreciate about watching two guys who know what they're talking about training, because it'll help you get some insight on what might be good for you.
Yeah,
Perfect.
doesn't feel right, but
Yeah, okay, so with this one, it is gonna be a little bit of discomfort on your elbow, just a tad bit, but when you get your second set in, I'll go away completely. Okay, so because of the elbow thing, I was trying to find but I could use to still have a tricep centered workout without so much joint pain.
What a joker.
Personally, I wouldn't want to do dumbbells. I like what Sam said about doing the cables. The reason why is if I did this training that they just did, I would be concerned with dropping those dumbbells on my head because you're going from very secure, excellent, forced good form for the most part on machines, more safer equipment, to now dumbbells, which is less safe while your body is very fatigued. So as a finisher, I would say I would love the cables more, but in general, in my opinion, it's just safer at this point in the workout.
It's really just about chasing that pump right now, as you said?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, come on. All right, come on, finish it off. Burn them.
Oh, my shoulders on fire. Oh, Jesus Christ. My chest is not responding anymore.
Yeah.
That's how you know your chest is done. It's all shoulders now.
Yeah, serious. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then sometimes with this, I like to just sit and, like, I'll do kind of just a 2-second hold. It's kind of pre-exhausting. And then once I'm kind of burnt out, quicker flies will feel a little more nasty. Yeah, I think this will be good.
Yeah. Good. Perfect.
I really like Sam's form. Not that Larry's form was bad. It was not. But I like Sam's form while he's doing this cable chest fly. It's reminiscent of one of those machines at the gym where you kind of bend down and you're squeezing together. You're squeezing together while you're bending over. We saw Julian use I forget what they're called, using one of those machines when he was training with Hanny, whatever. Sorry, bro. If you ever saw me say your name, I'm so sorry. But I like that very much. It's going to allow you, the way Larry did it, he had excellent form, so it was very good, and he's very strong, and he was using an appropriate weight. But the way Sam is doing it, the way he's bending over this thing, is going to allow you to be able to tackle that weight. Whereas with the way Larry did it, if Larry had too much weight on it, it could, in theory, pull him back, right? Even though he was braced, he had his leg out. The way Sam's doing it, you can get away with a lot, because this is like a push press, like squeeze, where Larry's is depending a lot on abs, legs, and so forth. So there's different ways to do things, and that's why there's different machines and whatever, different techniques. All depends on what you want. Right now, they're just chasing a pump, so no matter what they're doing, it's totally cool. But I really like Sam's form on this. He's overtaking that weight, where, in my opinion, Larry's was more... It was less overtaking and more like working with the weight.
A little side by side.
All right. Man, my boy's looking thick.
I'm trying.
260?
260 something, that's for sure. We'll do a little kind of most muscular first.
Got it.
Let me get a side chest.
Yeah.
All right, now what do you think?
Back double?
Yeah, that'll be good.
All right.
When Sam stands, it appears, I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, maybe it's just me, tell me in the comments. It appears he stands like this. Shoulders like this, and chest is sunken in. Sunken in, okay? That's what it appears like. I could be wrong because I don't know much about these guys, but I believe Sam has probably played football. What makes me think that? There's a thing, I don't remember what it's called, I'll try to put it on screen if I could Google it, where football players, because they have to run and catch, their body actually starts to turn in. The position of them being like this ends up curving them in. So I do believe that he has probably played football, where Larry, he stands more straight and his chest is popping out. His shoulders are more neutral. Sam's are more like this. They both look spectacular. I mean, you can't make these people up. The fact that people like this are becoming so prevalent on social media is scary because these are mass monsters. And so many people would look at them and still be like, and still be like, oh, they don't look that big. But that just shows you how brainwashed we're all becoming. They're gigantic. And this takes so much effort and work and years and so much. I mean, man, this is hard work. It's hard to tell whose back is like better because the angle of the camera is very strange. And the lighting is not evenly distributed. Also, you can see they are on an angle because the camera is on an angle. So Larry is going to look smaller. Sam's going to look a little bit bigger. Now, the one thing I wanted to point out is when Sam started to do this front double bicep, you could see the striations in his lower back. Towards the end of it, you can't really see it. That's mostly because of lighting, I believe. And also because, he moved position, but it was reminiscent of when he was doing his IFBB Pro Show, where if I recall correctly, his Christmas tree was absurd. And I've never seen one like it. Like, it just stands out in my mind as just an amazing lower back, the striations, the whole tree just popped. And so I saw some of that there, and it was like, wow, that is just amazing. The lighting and the angles are not doing these guys justice whatsoever. I think they should have went into the posing room, honestly. Look at the way Sam's chest sinks in. It's not just that he's shoulder dominant. It's not. Because Larry, his shoulders are gigantic too, but he's not sinking in as much as Sam. Sam, I bet you played football. It's not a normal stance. The only other thing I can think of, and again, I don't know this guy's history, when he was younger, he might have been heavy. I don't think he was, but he might have been heavy. And if he was heavy, it's possible that he walked around like this. Why? Heavy people sometimes walk around like this because they're trying to hide the fat. And so hunching hides things sometimes. It makes you look weird, but it has the ability to kind of cover where your fat droops off your body. So one of those two things, I believe, is going on. Let me know in the comments if you know about Sam's history. So that was an excellent video with Larry and Sam. It brings me such joy to be able to watch two awesome people training together, teaching each other, and I'm so glad to have been able to share this with you. So you guys let me know in the comments, did you like this video? What did you think? Who trained better, Larry or Sam? Was it just different? Should they have lowered the weight? Was the seat too low or too high, or am I just some idiot on the computer talking and I have no clue what I'm talking about? Because I hear that a lot in the comments. But thank you guys for every comment you leave, for the positive and the negative. And thank you all for being here. I'll catch you guys at the next video.